Hey adventurers, Bright Short development team have released a new update regarding the design decisions, so I'll quickly summarize this so that you don't have to read through the entire thing. In Brighter Shores, there are separate professions for combat in each episode. An example is that we have Guard in episode 1 and then we have Scout in episode 2. The player progression in the earlier episodes will still be intact and is still relevant later on in the game. The rationale behind having multiple combat professions was to cater to both casual and frequent players. Introducing new combat professions per episode was to prevent overpowered players from completing content too easily or for it to be too hard for newer or casual players. This design is to avoid what other games have, where they need to use level caps or auto scaling, which can lead to dead content or making leveling feel very unrewarding. They do want to encourage you to explore new episodes while continuing to deepen your skills in the earlier episodes. This is kind of the breadth and depth approach that they're taking. Episodes are interconnected. Players will frequently revisit previous episodes for resources, crafting, and quests. Side quests will increase in difficulty for dedicated players and providing further progression. The dev team are listening and are planning some changes already to the feedback that's been given. They are going to adjust how your level is displayed. So now it shows your total level across all professions, making progression feel more visible to other people. The developers are planning to add challenges requiring high level in multiple professions across multiple episodes. And finally, they're going to improve their communication with the player base so they can better explain the breadth and depth approach that they're taking to the game to avoid any sort of misunderstandings. They're also going to think about renaming terminology that makes things a bit more confusing, such as episodes versus zones. So this approach is to cater to two types of players. So having newer professions allow for quick, fun progression, fresh challenges to the game. Players who want to focus on leaderboards or different player styles, they can keep leveling up the professions that are already in the game. To conclude, the goal is to keep the game fresh, inclusive to all players, and avoid content becoming obsolete while allowing further progression. So what's my opinion? Firstly, I do like the communication coming from the dev team. They are taking quick action to some of the community feedback. Regarding the system, I do feel like it has a public image problem. Players expect systems to be a certain way, and when you call something an episode, there is that kind of implied you won't be coming back here sort of feeling. There also needs to be more in-game tutorials or quests explaining what is happening, especially when moving between episodes. Finally, the game is still in early access. It was released 2 days ago, so that we'll have to wait and see what is going to happen when we get to higher levels and to see if professions are actually still relevant. But I'm going to trust in the development team for now and keep playing the game. Stay tuned for the next video. I've got a special one next up.